Hi everyone, Letty here. Welcome to #CraftyGoals2024. I have my Fruits Crafty kit. I'm going to do my first project, which are just some easy 3x3 cards. Welcome back everyone. So I am participating in #CraftyGoals2024. One of my goals is to make crafty kits each month. This was one of the crafty kits that I made last month, which is a fruits theme. And I do have some still on my Etsy shop. I wanted to make a few projects this month with this kit. And so I've already stamped and colored some images. I used the Lemon Squeezy stamp from Not Too Shabby shop for these really cute images, as well as this cute little sentiment. And so I'll link that product down below. It is still available at Not Too Shabby. I also did go back in and I stamped some long sentiments on those little die cut white papers that I had included in the kit. I have a few scraps here that I already had from starting this first project. So here's what I have from my kit, and I'm taking out one additional sheet of paper and cardstock that I'll use. I've already made some of these 3x3s off camera, and so today we're making some easy 3x3s. This is one of my go-tos. I really enjoy making these. You can make 4 from a 6x6. I did add some glossy accents, and I do have a link for that. I'll link down below. And so I will show you, we're going to add the glossy accents on camera today on one of them. I'm going to show you, I did this little sort of doodle line. This is a Pigma Micron 8 marker. And so I just did a little doodle line on my 3x3. I had never done this before, but I really like the look of it with that black sentiment on this fruit image. And so I've already done 4 of them. These are ready to go. And I'm going to show you how to cut your paper down, and we'll make 4 more. So I have one sheet of paper. It is single-sided, and then one sheet of the 6x6 cardstock that came in this little crafty kit. And so again, I have my images as well that I've already stamped and colored. And so I have 4 of these little 3x3 cards. 3 of them already have the little doodle lines, and then we will do the 4th one on camera here today. The card base is going to be 3 by 6 inches folded in half on the 6-inch side. You can actually make 8 of these with one sheet of 12 by 12 cardstock. So I have my Pigma Micron pen. This is just an archival ink pen, and so I'm just going to do these little lines. I'm not going to come up all the way. I'm going to come up maybe a little under half an inch, just a little bit. It's really not even half an inch. Just a tiny, tiny bit, maybe a quarter of an inch. And then I'm going to just do it all the way around on the front panel. And I did use a white scrap piece of paper just to kind of collect my additional little drawing markings. So I have my 4 card bases now. Let's go ahead and cut the paper. So the dimensions for the paper and the cardstock are slightly different. The cardstock is going to be 2 3/4 square. So let's go ahead and cut it at 2 3/4 on one of the sides, and then take that one, turn it, and cut it again at 2 3/4, and then just do that twice. So that way you get 2 of those squares. That'll be what it looks like right here, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So go ahead and cut the second piece down, and then repeat with the second part of that cardstock. You should have a few little scrap strips. What I did was I ended up gluing them to the insides of my cards. So you will get 4 of them, and here are the scrap strips. So now let's cut the paper mat. The paper mat is 2 1/2 squared. So you're going to cut it at 2 1/2, and then cut it again twice at 2 1/2 to get 4 total pieces from your entire sheet of 6x6. I tried to cut mine where I had more of the citrus pieces sort of being the showcase, just like this, since my little sentiment was a citrus. But it's okay if there's some kind of open spots, because we're going to add some of those little stamped images. And I did not include any stamped images in these kits that I had created and put on Etsy, but I went ahead and figured we would use our stash for this. So I have my papers, my cardstock, my card bases, and then I also do have my little sentiments and my images ready to go. So let's go ahead and assemble these. We're going to start with the card base. We're going to glue our cardstock mat, then our paper right on top of that, and then we'll finish it off with our embellishments, including the sentiment as well. And then I'll come back afterwards and I will finish it off with some glossy accents just to make that fruit look super, super shiny. Let's go ahead and start by gluing the paper onto the cardstock mat, just like this, and then glue that little layered segment over onto the front of the card base. So just like this. This is literally the basis of what you'll be doing. I'm going to go ahead and quickly do this exact same process, assembly line style, with the remaining 3 cards. So I'm going to add adhesive to all of my papers, glue them to our cardstock mats, and then flip them around, add adhesive to the backs of my cardstocks, and then glue them to the fronts of my card bases. These are so quick and easy. These are definitely one of my favorite projects to make. So here are 4 basic cards. I'm going to go ahead and distribute these little images. I'm going to put 3 on each one. I've just colored some different limes and lemons and oranges. And so I'm going to put 3 on each. And so what I'll do is I will just sort of organize them on the front in a layout where I'll be able to kind of maximize the front and then add a little sentiment as well. And so I will just go ahead and glue them with my wet glue. It's easier to get around those curvy edges and just kind of glue them flat to the fronts of these 3x3 cards. You could always pop them up with a little bit of foam dimensional tape or even pop up your sentiment, but I'm going to keep it flat today. So here is what it looks like. I'll come back at the end and we'll add some glossy accents, but first let me just go ahead and glue down the remaining little pieces of stamped image ephemera that I made here for this project. And so I'm just going to glue them down with the little sentiment to the fronts of my cards. And so I did do 3, so that way I could get 1 of each of the different types of images. The full lemon or lime, and then the half, and then the full slice. So that's what it's looking like. We have all 3 images. So super, super fun. So here are the 4 cards. I've just finished the last one. So here's just a quick little close-up. So super, super easy. So again, we've got 4 cards from the one sheet of 6x6 cardstock and paper that I had from this little kit. Let me add some glossy accents. So I did not zoom in, but what I typically do is on the rind, I'm going to do 1 full layer of the glossy accents, so just around the edging of it. And then for the inside where you have like the pulp of the fruit, I'm just doing a really quick sort of zigzag pattern with the glossy accents. And so you can't see too well right here, but I'm going to show you lots of close-ups in just a second with the recap so you can see what the finals look like. Okay, so this was my fruit crafty kit that I made last month. I do have some listed in my Etsy shop, just a few of them. And so today I used some of the items from this project. I do have some more of those stamped sentiments ready to go. And I made some easy 3x3 cards. So this was the set that we made together. And so I did go and finish the glossy accents. I did let it dry. It says to let it dry for a full 24 hours, but I don't even think I did that. And so I also did add my scraps to the insides. You see here, they're kind of different lengths, but I went ahead and just kind of added them what I had into the insides of my cards. And so here's what they look like. And the glossy accents you can see are just sort of sporadically on my images, just sort of making them look sort of moist, like real fruit, like real juicy. And so that was the first set that we did. And then I did these off camera. So again, here's a little close up of these. I think the glossy accents are key on these fruit themed projects that I'm going to be making this month with this. And again, I added scraps to the insides of those. So those were my easy 3x3 cards, really quick and easy tutorial using my Fruits Crafty Kit, which I have on my Etsy shop. So thanks for visiting, everyone. I hope you got a little bit of inspiration. Take out your fruit themed items and craft along with me this month. Happy crafting.